everyone, and welcome back again to the 80s Movie Den. For this episode, we're going to go back to the 80s most influential athletes for me growing up. And we're going to talk about a very special athlete slash performer. Some may not consider him a traditional athlete, but I do. I consider them all athletes, actually. We're going to talk about the Immortal Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan to me was more than just a pro wrestler. He was like a superhero for us growing up as kids in the 80s. He was this larger than life, bombastic character. He wore the bright yellow trunks, the headbands, tearing the t-shirt. He had these loud, passion-filled promos. He was the epitome of pro wrestling in the 1980s. The 1980s was the golden era of professional wrestling, and Hulk Hogan spearheaded that movement. He put wrestling on the map. He was a household name. Even people that didn't like wrestling knew who Hulk Hogan was. He transcended the business. He was more than just a pro wrestler. He branched out. He was on TV shows. He was on daytime talk shows. He was on late night talk shows. He eventually started making movies. He did have an appearance in the Rocky III film, which was his first foray into Hollywood. But when he won the World Heavyweight Championship against the Iron Sheik on January the 23rd, 1984, Hulkamania was officially born. And from that point on, wrestling just absolutely took off. Again, it became pretty much the main performance art in the 1980s. They were everywhere. Wrestling was on t-shirts, posters, toys, Saturday morning cartoons, cameo appearances in movies and television shows. It was huge. Going to school with my friends, that's what we talked about. We talked about pro wrestling. We collected the wrestling cards. We would bring our LJN rubber wrestlers to school for show and tell. It was massive. It was so big. And Hulk Hogan really, was the reason for that. He took wrestling to a different level. And for that and many other reasons, that's why to me he was one of the most influential athletes for me of the 1980s. When you think of the size, he was 6 foot. He was billed at 6'8". I think he was closer to 6'6", 6'7", which is still a giant. He weighed over 300 pounds at his peak. I think he was about 320 at his peak. He probably wrestled around 290 to 300 pounds. He was a giant of a man. He was larger than life. And for his size, he was tremendously athletic. He was surprisingly quick. To me, Hulk Hogan is definitely up there. One of the most influential athletes of the 1980s for sure. Pro wrestling is a very athletic performance art. And he deserves to be in that top 10 for me. Some may argue against it because, pro wrestling is fake. And I say fake in quotations because there's really nothing fake about taking bumps. Yeah, they pull their punches and they're trying not to hurt each other. But it's very clear, and there's a lot of evidence to support the fact that it's a very dangerous performance art. Wrestlers get hurt. They get hurt often. Sometimes they get seriously injured, and sometimes they get permanently injured. Wrestlers have been paralyzed in the ring. Some wrestlers have even died in the ring. So, I mean, there's nothing really fake about it. I would probably try to use a different word than fake. Predetermined, choreographed to a certain extent, but fake is an unfair word to use. But Hulk Hogan was a major influence on me growing up and a lot of my friends. And that's definitely why he's in there. He's in that top 10. Unfortunately, we lost him July 24th of 2025. He had a bunch of health issues. He had many, many surgeries. It's been well documented. The final surgery that he had was, I think it was a neck fusion surgery that didn't go well. There was a nerve that was severed, the nerve that helps the diaphragm to expand and contract to help with breathing. Apparently, don't quote me on this, but there are some sources that say that the nerve was severed. That did a lot of damage, obviously. He was recovering from that, but he was also battling a disease as well. I believe it was leukemia. So he was going through some major health issues the last year or so of his life. A lot of people that were close to him said that his health was in rapid decline. Some said they didn't think he was going to make it. Unfortunately, he did not. But Hulk Hogan, the character, the pro wrestler, transcended the business and was a very important public figure in the 1980s and 90s. His life outside the ring became a little tumultuous. We won't get into that. I'm talking about Hulk Hogan, the performer. His personal life is none of my business. But what he did in the ring and in the public sphere, as far as his WWF career and his movie career, he was just, he was like a real life superhero. And there's no other way to explain it. And he was definitely an incredible athlete. He wrestled all over the world. He wrestled in Japan. And he performed differently in Japan than he did in North America. If you watch some of his matches in Japan, he was much more polished in the ring. He performed a lot more intricate holds and maneuvers. Japanese wrestling is well known for its skill and technical prowess. But in North America, he didn't need to do that. In North America, he was just performing and, getting that pop from the crowd. So he didn't have to do 4-move combinations and anything like that. So a lot of people argue that he wasn't a very good wrestler, but he didn't really need to be a wrestler. He didn't have to perform like Bret Hart or some other technical guys. His presence was enough to get the pop that he needed. So, and as a kid, it didn't matter. I wasn't critiquing his in-ring ability or the way he worked. For me, it was just, get to the ring, to that real American theme song, get in there, do your business, get the win, and that's, as a kid, that's what you were watching. Right? You weren't looking for any technical skills and abilities. So, but yeah, Hulk Hogan, definitely one of the most influential athletes of the 1980s for me. Let me know in the comments what you think of me putting Hulk Hogan in my most influential athletes categories. Let me know if it makes sense or not. I believe it does. It's my list. So, but anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And stay tuned. We have more episodes coming. We have more influential athletes of the 80s coming, as well as some other pickup videos. We have a room tour video coming up soon for 2026. Stay tuned for that. That should be a good one. This has been the 80s Movie Den. And as always, we'll catch you on the next one.